Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hi, y'all. Whew. This episode, we're going to talk about beauty standards. Um, I don't know. I had like a very interesting experience this couple of days. So I went to the doctor and I found out that, like I was talking to my doctor about my health and everything, and I told the doctor, I was like, hey, I want to lose weight because like with the medication I was taking because of my prior medical situation, but like I've gained weight, and now that I'm fine, I'm trying to find ways to to lose weight, to go back to being fit, to go back to feeling like myself, because honestly I feel very sluggish sometimes. And I have a 3-year-old niece. She's very active, she wants to play and everything, and I want to be able to play with her. And so we're making like a meal plan, and I was telling her, I was like, I don't want to be bulky, I want to be lean, I want to lose my stomach fat, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then she goes around and she says like, well, to lose this amount, this is what you need to do, to lose that amount, this is what you need to do. Give up dairy and bread and pasta and all of those stuff, because black women's body are different, and just black people's body are different. So sometimes if you don't, like, sometimes a lot of stuff that we eat do not align with our genes and all of that, blah 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 blah. And when she was talking and we're making a plan, she's talking and I'm just trying to like visualize like myself and everything. And then so I went home and I was talking to my mother, like what happened to the doctor, and then she's like, make sure you don't turn out like, you don't end up looking like a toothpick. African mother, very blunt, right? And then we're talking about it and I was just like, what does she mean, a toothpick? And then I remember one time my friend came over and she was skinny as hell. My mom was like, does she eat? And so they just did the juxtaposition of just being like, she's like, yeah, just lose weight, but don't lose too much weight. Like, you still want to have your body, you still, you have a nice body and everything. The medication, affected your weight gain and all that. Just don't, overdo it, and then you end up looking like those girls who look like toothpicks, right? And just going through that experience and just having that conversation, my mother was like, damn, as an African woman, specifically a Congolese woman, being curvy, having a body, having meat on your body is a good thing. So I've only known that I gain weight because of American beauty standards. Like, yes, internally I feel like, if I like, sometimes you can feel sluggish and everything. Maybe you had a big meal, or you haven't really exercised and everything, blah 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 blah. But when it comes to like the way we view beauty standards, it's night and day. I remember I started having my puberty when I was 10 years old. So my body started to shape and form. My boobs came out, my butt came out. And I remember telling my mother, like, I want to get plastic surgery to reduce myself. And I wanted to do that because I did not look like a kid. Because of my body, people stopped treating me like a kid. Because when a guy see a girl with big boobs and big butts, those are woman features. I can remember telling people, I'm like, yo, I'm 10 years old. Yo, I'm 11, I'm 12, I'm 13. They'd be like, stop playing. You're just saying that. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm being serious. I'm 11. I'm living in the 5th grade. I'm in the 6th grade. I'm the 7th grade. I'm in the 8th grade. So in my house, I was fine, right? I was becoming an authentic Congolese woman. But outside, my womanhood was, my body was introducing me to a womanhood that my age was not matching. And that reception fucked me up, to be honest. it fucked me up. I can remember my first day of class, kids will ask me, "Are you the teacher?" I'm like, "No, you stupid asshole, I'm actually a student." I remember being at a bus stop and guys, older men, hollering at me, and I'm like, damn. And when I was a teenager, like a boy would come, like, like another teenager would be like, would try to talk to me to have sex. And I was like, I think those are the stuff that made me not like my body. And it was weird because, like, outside of my house, I'm not liking my body. I'm not liking my body because of the reaction that I'm getting. But inside my house, I love my body. I love going to my mother's closet and like playing with her clothes. I loved it. Because I'm like, my body was being celebrated in one culture where it was being used to demonize me in another setting. And it's funny because, they say a good African woman, she has hips. She has a boom boom. She has the tatas. She has that. But in American culture, especially when I was younger, it wasn't celebrated. Being curvy was not celebrated. Like, I fail to feel sympathetic to girls who will get plastic surgery to get a butt and then something happens to them. I cannot, like, sometimes, like, I fail to be sympathetic to them because I'm like, listen, at 20 years old, you are not experiencing what I experienced at 10. You are seeking this because it's a trend. My experience is not a trend. People are like, oh, well, you should be happy because it's being celebrated. No, it's not. It's not being celebrated because even if you want to go get an ass, you still have to have a small waist. You still have to have this. You see, like, girls with ass who have big bellies, who have, like, those are not the ones being celebrated. The ones being celebrated is like, oh, does the proportion of your waist matches your ass to your breast, to your this, to your that. That's not being that's not body positivity. And that doesn't mean I think you should be like 6,000 pounds. That's not what I'm saying. But I just don't like it when people make other people's reality a trend. And they don't really fully accept the well-rounded spectrum of what other people are. Because in the trend of having a big butt or a big boob, you are still expected to fit a certain body type that is not leaning to natural women's bodies. So for me, living in the United States, presenting myself every single day, especially as a kid, when you're going to get a butt and boobs at 20 or in your 20s and everything, you're doing that for the gram, you're doing that for fame and everything. Like, you don't know what it's like for the 10-year-old me who lost her childhood because of the shape of her body. So sorry if I don't feel bad when something happens to you, but it's really hard for me to feel bad for you because you are trying to use a part of what I have to become famous so that you can be adored, so that you can be celebrated. Whereas a kid like me developed body issues as a kid just because of the natural way I was born. And mind you, when I was a kid, I was fit. Like, I used to run, I used to do basketball. When I used to go to the gym, I used to tape my boobs with tape, literally. Because if I didn't do that, boys would be like, look at her boob jiggling. I remember it was in middle school, a boy hit my butt, and then he's like, damn, her butt sound like the drum. That shit is dehumanizing. I couldn't wear anything. If I wore a dress, it was sexy. There's nothing that I can wear that would not be seen as sexy. And Africans, when we go to church, we dress up. So if I wear a dress, even when our body was long, if I'm walking, it's pulling up. If I wear jeans, I'm looking like a mother. If I wear, like, one of the reasons why I left the church was because people were making comments about my body. That's one of the reasons. I remember this church woman told me, like, hey, you need to watch what you're wearing, because, you might seduce the fathers. I was 13 years old when she said that to me. 13. So if something happens to me, it's my fault because of my body. The fact that the fathers would, like, I will be seducing the fathers because they're men, men like what they see. So they will never consider the fact that I'm 13, right? And don't get me started with the shopping experience. Oh my God. The shopping experience was horrible, and it's still horrible. Sometimes my mom comes at me, she's like, why don't you like to go shopping? Like, you still, you know what I mean? Because, like, I'm the type of person, I have the same jeans that I had since I was, like, sometimes they're bigger on me if I'm losing weight. Sometimes they're too tight if I'm gaining weight, like, but, like, there's I think it's Old Navy, sometimes they have, like, a spectrum of size, right? If you're size 12 to 18, you can see wear the same pants. Like, I have a couple of those because I do have a big butt. Sometimes my feet will get in, but for it to go around my butt, it will be too small. So, like, I had to get sometimes those bigger side and everything. And then a friend was like, oh, like, why don't you go to the plus size? I'm like, because my body is not even plus size. I'm, like, in the weird middle. Because when I go to the plus size, everything's bigger on me. Everything. And then when I go to the regular side, I have to literally dig and dig to find something that will fit my body. Because I'm not a fat girl. Like, my body just, whew. That Horn of Africa? The ancestor decided that I carried the Horn of Africa basically on my back. Lord, I sort of got Congolese people, the joke that we make, Lord. Right? So it's like, yeah. And so it's funny because, I consume a lot of Congolese art, I consume a lot of African art and everything. And then I look at this woman, beautiful, curvy woman, curvaceous woman, they dress sexy, they do this, they do that. And I'm just like, damn, I need to go live in the Congo, like, And it's funny because, I'll share this with you. When it comes to dating, I always felt like, because of my body, like, I wasn't attractive. Like, this is just me being honest, right? Like, a guy would not be attracted to me because of my body, because people always thought I was older. I've kind of internalized that. So if I meet a guy my age, I'd be like, yeah, he probably think I'm older, right? He probably don't think that we are the same age because he thinks I'm older. So I never felt attractive to people my age. And it's been worse since my experiences would be like, oh, like, since I was a kid, you see, like, older men try to hit on me, and it should just feel like, damn, God, like, is this my fate? Am I only gonna have older men hitting on me? And that kind of, like, stings, because you're like, right? And another way I never felt attractive was because, like, oh, maybe if I, like, lose weight, I will look younger. But let me say something. I've been skinny before. Well, I've been skinnier before, and I've been, like, heavy before. And even on my skinnier days, I just present myself as too mature, quote unquote, too mature, or too grown looking. So I would felt like, damn, what can I do to look young, or to, to act like my age and all of that, And I think because Africans are more attracted to curvier bodies, I always think like, oh yeah, I'm only attracted to, like, Africans. Like, only Africans will find me attractive. Even though internally I like everybody, like, I don't really have, like, a preference of one over the other. I was never raised to have a preference one over the other. Like, even though my parents would be like, you end up with a white man. Everyone tells me that I'll end up with a white man. Even black men tell me I will end up with a white man, right? Even though I never really had a preference and everything, but I always felt like because of my body, only an African would like that, because Africans like bodies. Africans like curvy women. And it's funny because when I look at my pictures of me being a teenager, it hurts me to think that I was fat in those pictures when I wasn't. I was not. I was skinny. And maybe I'm saying this to the lens of a Congolese girl. But when I look at those pictures of myself, yes, you can see I have big boobs. Yes, you can see that the Horn of Africa is behind my back. Yes, you can see that. But girl, it hurts me to think that I was a big girl. It hurts me because I would give anything to have the body that I had 2 years ago. Because to be honest with you, COVID, you know how some people came out of COVID looking big as hell? Like, I still have my COVID weight, y'all. I have my COVID weight and my medication weight mixed all together. Like, I still on my freshman COVID. Like, my COVID 15, I'm still on that. It's COVID 15 plus medication 30. That's literally my weight right now. So to think that like a 10-year-old, at 11, at 13, I hated going outside. I did not like doing stuff because I felt big. I used to starve myself. I used to really starve myself. I used to work out like 4 times a day. I'll work in the morning before I go to school. I'll go to the gym when I school. I'll work, like I'll do exercises when I come back, and I'll work out before going to bed. When I was like in middle school and early high school, I used to do that to myself. And when I look at my pictures of like my early years in college, even, to think that at that moment I thought I was the biggest shit walking. Damn, that's hurtful. And it's so funny because it's like, on my own, I'm fine. Even now, like, I can openly say, yes, I've gained weight. Like, my close friends can be like, oh yeah, you've gained weight. And it will not do shit to me. But it's the response that I get when I go outside of my house. It's the response that I got when I used to just like try to live, try to go shopping, try to do stuff. Like, remember those little cards that, like, it's usually at the fun fairs or the arcade, like, people would get on it, and then like there'll be instances when I would just look at the seat, I'm like, nah, I'm not getting on that. I'm not doing that. My body's too big for that. Like, I'm afraid to ride a bike. And someone was trying to be like, oh, I can cheat you. I'm like, listen, that bike is going to give me a wedgie. No, we're not doing that. And it's funny because when I lose weight, like, as I'm losing weight now, because I'm literally like working out and eating well and everything, when I lose weight, my stomach is going down, but my ass is still up. So I look like I have a BBL, and this is my body. So then I'm just be like, oh god, I'm gonna end up looking like an ant, like Kevin Hart said in his comedy special. Like, damn. And it's so weird to just navigate those two worlds, where on one hand I am the perfect body size, but on the other, because I live in America, my life is like, my mother, I remember when I used to be like, Mom, guys will not like me because of my body. And my mom's like, no problem. You're going to marry somebody in Africa. And I'm just be like, but I'm live here. You know? It's just weird how we police women's body. I really feel like it's weird. Just weird. Like, even as I'm trying to lose weight now, I am constantly reminding myself to love my body throughout the process. Like, yes, I feel sluggish. Like, I want to get rid of the sluggishness that I feel. But I don't want to talk down on myself because of my body, because it's mine. It's mine. It's my body. It's my body. I can walk. I can talk. God has allowed me to still be alive, and I never want to tell God that He made a mistake. I never want to do that. I never want to tell God He made a mistake, because God knew. Because child, when God was making me, He took His time. I don't want to starve myself. I don't starve myself anymore. I eat healthy, but I don't starve myself. Because God did not make a mistake. A child, when God chose, like, there's this joke I like to make with my friends. I'll be like, listen, I like to eat. Because my booty is specifically, need to have iron, magnesium, protein, and carbs. Like, yeah. Because God did not make a mistake. I love my body. I just don't like the external way that people think about my body. So, that's the episode for today. Thank you. Tell me what you think. Have you ever gone through issues with your body? Like, how is your body perceived? Like, your body type is perceived in your cultures. Does that, like, conflict with the reality that we face now on social media? What's the beauty standard in your culture? Thank you. Bye. Talk to you later. And ciao. Enjoy your body, because God did not make a mistake. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.